Imagine being confined behind stone walls, shackled, your freedom stripped away. Now imagine breaking free from those very chains. Today, we delve into the world of audacious prison escapes. These are not mere tales of fiction, but harrowing journeys of individuals who, against all odds, manage to cheat the system, outsmart their captors, and claw their way back to freedom. What drives a person to attempt such a daring feat? Is it desperation, the primal instinct of survival, or the sheer human determination to reclaim what's rightfully theirs, their liberty? These escapes required meticulous planning, audacity, and an unyielding spirit, often in the face of immense danger and potential repercussions. Join us as we uncover the most daring prison escapes in history, in chronological order. Our journey begins in 18th century London with a man named Jack Sheppard. Picture this: a young carpenter turned notorious thief, incarcerated not once, not twice, but 4 times. And each time he slipped his shackles and made his way back to the city's dimly lit cobblestone streets. Sheppard was no ordinary criminal. His audacity was matched only by his cunning. He picked locks with a hidden piece of wire, squeezed through narrow windows, and even broke through a prison ceiling. With each daring escape, his infamy grew, his exploits sensationalized in the press and on the stage. But Sheppard's tale is more than just a thrilling cat-and-mouse game. It's also a window into the seedy underbelly of 18th century London, a world where crime was often the only means of survival for the city's poor and destitute. Sheppard's daring escapes made him a legend, but not all escapees share the same fate. Fast forward to World War II, to the notorious Stalag Luft III. This was no ordinary prison. It was a Nazi camp designed to hold captive Allied airmen, a place known for its harsh conditions and relentless guards. But even in the face of such adversity, the human spirit remained unbroken. The prisoners, driven by desperation and a longing for freedom, conceived a daring escape plan. This was not a spur-of-the-moment decision. The men spent months digging 3 tunnels, aptly named Tom, Dick, and Harry, using only spoons in their bare hands. The plan was grand, involving 76 men, but the execution was not without its flaws. A series of unforeseen events led to their discovery, and only 3 of the 76 managed to elude capture. The rest met a tragic end. Yet even in its failure, the escape from Stalag Luft III is remembered not for the lives it claimed, but for the bravery it inspired. Despite its failure, this escape attempt stands as a testament to the indomitable human spirit. The year is 1983, the place, Maze Prison, Northern Ireland. This isn't just any prison, it's a maximum security labyrinth, considered one of the most escape-proof prisons in the world. But on September 25th, a daring plan unfolds. 38 prisoners from the Provisional Irish Republican Army, or IRA, seize control of their cell block. They're armed with homemade weapons and they've got a plan. Months of meticulous preparation have led to this moment. They've smuggled in maps, they've studied guard routines, and they've even built a secret radio to keep informed of the outside world. In the chaos, they commandeer a food truck, using it to breach the prison's outer gate. The alarm bells ring out, but it's too late. The prisoners are already scattering into the surrounding countryside. It's a bold, audacious escape. 19 of the escapees are recaptured within days. But the others, they vanish, slipping away into the shadows. The Maze Prison escape, a daring feat that shook the world. In the modern era, one man stands out for his remarkable escapes. Meet Pascal Payet. This French criminal became notorious for his audacious helicopter hijackings, which he used not once but multiple times to break free from the confines of high-security prisons. His daring escapes were so theatrical they could have been ripped straight from a Hollywood action movie. But for Payet, they were a desperate bid for freedom. His first escape in 2001 saw him flee from the heavily fortified Louis prison in France, with the help of 3 accomplices who hijacked a helicopter. His second escape in 2007 was even more brazen. He again used a hijacked helicopter, this time to escape from the Grasse prison in southeastern France. These dramatic escapes not only cemented Payet's place in the annals of criminal history, but they also forced a complete rethink of prison security across the globe. His audacious tactics highlighted the vulnerabilities of traditional prison designs and sparked a wave of security upgrades. Payet's audacious escapes brought him fame, but also further tightened the noose around him. From helicopters to yoga, the means of escape are as unique as the escapees themselves. Now we dive into the extraordinary tale of Choi Gap-bok, a prisoner whose path to freedom was paved not with violence or elaborate plans, but with inner peace and flexibility. Choi, a South Korean man with a criminal history, found himself behind bars yet again in 2012. But this time, he had an unexpected trick up his sleeve: yoga. Having practiced the discipline for over 2 decades, Choi could contort his body in ways most could only dream of. In the cover of night, he managed to squeeze his body through the food slot of his cell, a mere 18 by 6 inches. Just imagine that. A grown man fitting through a slot smaller than a sheet of paper. It's a feat that would make even the most seasoned escape artist green with envy. But it wasn't just physical flexibility that facilitated Choi's escape. It was his mental prowess, his ability to keep calm under pressure, to focus on the task at hand despite the obvious risks. Choi Gap-bok's escape is a reminder that sometimes the path to freedom relies on mind over matter. Our final escape takes us to the war-torn streets of Kandahar, a city engulfed in the shadows of conflict, where the rules of confinement were about to be rewritten in a daring prison break. In the heart of Kandahar, an ominous prison stood. Known for its high security measures, it was a fortress designed to keep the most dangerous criminals at bay. Yet within its daunting walls, a plot was brewing, one that would shock the world and change the course of the Afghan conflict. The orchestrators? The Taliban. Under the cover of darkness, these insurgents executed a meticulously planned escape. A tunnel, over 1,000 feet long, was dug from the outside in. Armed with patience and purpose, they tunneled their way to freedom, right under the noses of their captors. When dawn broke, the prison guards were met with an eerie silence. An entire wing of the prison was deserted. Over 400 prisoners had vanished, like ghosts in the night. It was a daring feat that left the world in awe, and the Afghan government in a state of shock. The fallout was immediate. The Afghan government, already on unstable grounds, was dealt a severe blow. The escapees, many of them high-ranking Taliban members, rejoined the insurgency, bolstering their ranks and escalating the conflict. The international community watched in stunned silence as the repercussions unfolded. This was not just a prison break, it was a declaration of power, a testament to the Taliban's resilience and resourcefulness. The Kandahar escape, a chilling reminder of the lengths some will go to reclaim their freedom. Escaping from prison is no small feat, but what happens after the escape? Let's delve into the aftermath, the repercussions of these audacious moments of flight. The consequences of escape are as varied as the escapees themselves. Some, against all odds, manage to elude capture, blending into society, living out their days under the radar. Others, however, aren't so lucky. Their taste of freedom is fleeting, and they find themselves back behind bars, their audacious escapes only serving to lengthen their sentences. Let's cast our minds back to the escape from Stalag Luft III during World War II. This daring attempt at freedom, known as the Great Escape, saw 76 men break free from the confines of their prison. Yet only 3 of these men would taste long-term freedom. The rest were recaptured, and 50 of them were executed. A chilling reminder of the price of failed escape during these dark times. In other instances, escapees may find that the world outside the prison walls is not as welcoming as they had hoped. They are marked men, constantly looking over their shoulders, living in perpetual fear of being recognized, of being returned to the life they so desperately sought to leave behind. And then there are those who, even after their recapture, become legends in their own right. Their tales of daring and audacity are woven into the tapestry of prison lore, their names whispered in hushed tones by those who dream of their own escape. But no matter the outcome, each escape attempt underscores a universal truth about the human spirit. Its unyielding desire for freedom, its relentless drive to break free from the chains that bind it. Yet, as these stories of escape remind us, freedom is not always free. It often comes at a steep price. a price that, for some, proves too high to pay. As we close this chapter on audacious prison escapes, we're reminded that freedom, however sweet, often comes at a steep price.